Well, hello, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. My name is Diane Kovatz. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the International Society for Computational Biology. Now, let me take a breath. You guys know us as ISCB. We're so happy to be here, especially with our partners from the African Society for Computational Biology, to bring back in person this meeting. We had a little bit of a hiatus, and now we're all back together, and I can just see from the energy in the room, from the energy from the students today, that everyone is super happy to be back together again. So I'm pleased to be here, but I wouldn't be here without these amazing people on the screen. They are our organizing committee. Most conferences take 9, sometimes 12 months to put together. This group pulled it off in 3.5. So thank you to them. Record-breaking number of abstracts since we haven't been in person. A lot of reviewing that was going on, a lot of late nights for them because I'm 6 hours behind them. So huge thank you to the organizing committee. I also want to thank our speakers who had committed to this and are coming to be here with you today. They too rearranged some of their schedules to make this work, and we couldn't be happier that they're able to join us. I want to mention that everything will be recorded and will be available for you on demand later. If you happen to miss a talk or you want to go see the penguins, you can watch those sessions later, but do try to stick around and be with everyone and experience the conference right here in this very room and in the great coffee in the next door. So everyone's going to ask me tomorrow, what's my poster number? Here's how you find your poster number. Go to the main conference website, not the virtual platform, but the main conference website. Then you're going to want to click on conference program, go to posters, and search your name in the search bar. It's going to pop up your poster number and letter A or B. If you are A, you present tomorrow. If you are B, you present on Wednesday. So tell your friends who aren't here yet, so we don't get asked 100 times, what's my poster number? Well, only 67 times because there's 67 of you presenting posters. Tonight's reception is going to be upstairs in the room located right next to the bar. It's directly after the keynote, and I welcome you there to come, say hi to everyone, get to meet new people, enjoy some amazing local foods chosen by ISB's newest employee, Nina Marie. She got to choose our catering. So meet us there after the opening. I also want to tell you where lunch is. So lunch will not be next door. Breaks are next door. Lunch is going to be in the restaurant upstairs. It's called Ablu, and it's really good. I had lunch the other day. It was fantastic. Tons and tons of options. If you were part of our group that had to order a special meal, please see Nina Marie registration desk. And then conference dinner, we still do have a few tickets for those who were unsure about whether or not they wanted to attend the conference dinner. So we do still have a few tickets available. If you'd like one, you can see us at the registration desk. How do I know if I registered for the conference dinner? If there's a star on your name badge, you have a reservation to the conference dinner. If there's not a star on your name badge, that means you haven't purchased a ticket yet. We do have to close ticket sales tomorrow at 2 so the restaurant can be prepared. Posting to social media. If you're a poster, you like the gram, you like all that stuff, Mallory Wiper, our new communications specialist, has really been boosting our social media. Use this hashtag ISCB-Africa 2025. And then I couldn't say thank you enough to these amazing sponsors who came out to support this research community, this conference, and ISCB and ASBCB. Thank you so much to this group. This is what enabled us to do that beautiful welcome reception, to get, we have about 30 travel fellowship winners, I believe, in the room, to get you all here. So huge thank you to them. Yeah, you're maybe fix that when you come up. And then before I leave, don't forget ISCB-ECCB is going to be in Liverpool. Abstracts are due on April 14th. No, you may not have an extension, so do not ask. All right? With that, I will turn it over to Alan Christoffels to talk a little bit about ASBCB. Thank you.
Yeah, so let me then also just convey my welcome, certainly on behalf of the organizing committee that you saw there, the ones that can pull off a conference in 3 months. It is not recommended for good health. But certainly, I think from our side, we certainly want to welcome you and really appreciate your time to have come to this event. For the African Society for Bioinformatics, I think what we're really wanting to do now is to really revive the society. We went through a period of COVID, or shall I say before that, we had conferences every 2 years. And so many of you, and I look across the room and I see a few of you, that have certainly been through this journey with us where we've managed to host our conference in a number of regions of the continent. And then came COVID and a lot of those activities died down. And so post the COVID pandemic, it's really been a slow start to revive the activities of the society. And we certainly feel that this conference was a mechanism by which we can start to ignite certainly an excitement about the regional meetings, about the activities within the society. And so for those of you that might not have been a part of the society, I certainly encourage you to look at our website, look at how you can get involved. We have certainly grown over the years where we've created these communities of special interest groups. And so we have certainly like-minded individuals that have coalesced around a certain topic. And that might be around agriculture, some plant work, around pathogen genomics. We also have a systems administration group. And so really these were small groups that have really been sharing an interest in a certain topic. And there were a number of activities in the past that were essentially driven within a much smaller focused group. And a lot of that had obviously stopped at the time when we had lockdown and activities came to a halt. And so we are hoping that as a result of getting together everybody again at this regional meeting, that we will be able to kickstart and certainly catalyze much more of these activities as we move along. And so then certainly welcome from my side and also from that of the committee. We are looking forward to an exciting lineup of speakers over the next 2 days. We've been through the first day of the Student Symposium, and I'm sure that you will enjoy the program that we have lined up for you. And you've heard a bit about the social activities that we have already planned for you. I just want to make a point that we've actually got about 110 individuals on site, represented by 24 countries. And so it's really been exciting to see the breadth of influence within the society and how each person brings a part of what they do to the society. And I think it enriches us in terms of our interactions. You'll see a number of posters up. I definitely encourage you to engage in that. I think people have really committed time to prepare those. And I think it will be great to see how we rekindle relationships, professional networks through the course of this 2 days. And I think for many of us who have been in academic environments for a while, you'll be surprised at how much we leverage these networks as we go through our jobs. And so I certainly encourage you to speak to people you don't know, meet people that are working on stuff that you might not be working on. So it's an opportunity for growth. It's certainly an opportunity to expand one's own understanding and one's own knowledge. And so we are very excited about that. I do need to talk about elections. It's got nothing to do with global geopolitics. It's got everything to do with the African society. And as you know, we have a governing board for the society. So myself as the president, and then we have a number of people on the governing board. But we need to have new elections. And I certainly see at least 110 people that can serve on the next governing board. And so the way that it's going to do is we have an opportunity to first nominate people. And so there'll be a nomination process, which I'll speak about now. Once people have been nominated, that will activate a communication to the nominee, who will have to submit some information. It's not overwhelming, so don't be put off by that. And then once we get that information, we will then open up for a period of democratic elections. We will certainly be unique and we'll have democratic elections. And so we will have the election process for a period of time. And in so doing, we are hoping to elect a vibrant group that would lead us for the next 2 years as we proceed to grow the society, and also as we, I think, roll out activities that I think will shape a lot of what we do moving forward. And so you will see that already what is available is a QR code on the website. Diane has assured me that there is a printout of the QR code on the wall outside. And so when you see that QR code, it's important for you to then pull out your phone and then go and log in and then nominate somebody, or feel free to nominate yourself. We will have this nomination process open for a period of time, and I'm looking at Diane, who did tell me how long, and I completely forgot.
May 1st.
May 1st, right? So on Workers' Day, we will close the nominations, and then people who have been nominated would then submit a small brief as to what it is they will do for the society. We will collate that information and then have elections by mid-May, I think it is. And so, yeah, I'm certainly hoping that we will all participate in that as we move towards, I think, really galvanizing the society to be what it had been, and then also to grow it even further. I think the whole field of computational biology has really been expanding, and as a continent, certainly, we've seen both the development of new methodologies, we've seen the applications vary, and it'd be great to see how we could strengthen the society as a network to help grow that. And as we build our next generation of scientists, I think that's fundamentally a thrust within the work that we do as well. And so, yeah, so we're certainly hoping that as you look forward to the next 2 days, that it will be an opportunity in which you can really engage, and we are certainly looking forward to a great time together. I think I have certainly had what I wanted to say, but before we proceed to welcoming our keynote, I'm just going to look over and see if there's any other logistic stuff that we need to mention before we proceed further.
I have one thing.
There you go. Diane has one more thing. Two more things, sorry. I have three.
So I had forgotten to mention the partnership that ISCB has with ASBCB, specifically in conjunction with this conference. So if you renewed your membership to ISCB or selected the complimentary membership during your registration process, you are now members of both ISCB and ASBCB. That was something that was very important to us as we came together to collaborate on this. So everyone who did that, you can nominate. You can be nominated. So keep that in mind, as well as for on the ISCB side for any of our elections, travel fellowships, working at different events. So keep that in mind. I did not do the camera correctly. They're teasing me online because they know I really don't like the camera. So I'm going to quickly put that on, and I'm going to smile and say, hi, everyone. And now you may introduce our speaker.
I'll do that. Now that we've got the camera going, just before I go ahead and introduce the speaker, I know Diane had mentioned the sponsors for this conference, but I think I want to maybe just echo that as well and say that, in order to pull off an event such as this, and in order to support a number of students that are traveling large distances to be here. We've certainly valued the partnership with our sponsors, and I think we couldn't have done that without you. And so while I haven't mentioned you guys individually by name, we certainly recognize your role, and I think the impact that your contribution has made in order to deliver on a conference this year, and certainly one that we are looking forward to as a catalyst for the ones that will come next. So with that, I certainly have the pleasure of welcoming our first keynote speaker, an old friend and also a colleague that I've gotten to know across the years, and that is Professor Chandra Verma. He is a Deputy Director at the Bioinformatics Institute in Singapore. He studies molecular mechanisms that underlie disease. And if you look at the spectrum of work that he is doing, he has a real interest in understanding the interactions of proteins with other proteins at different levels. And I think what it really struck me by the breadth of what he does, the value that comes from engaging with experimental biologists in really driving insights into understanding new biology. And I think that for me really stuck out for me. He's working on quite a few topics. I think of molecular mechanisms that are associated with P53 pathway, some kinases. He's actually doing some work on translation initiation. I don't know how people manage that complicated topic, but he does that. He works on antimicrobials, and really sitting at the interface of physical chemistry. And how do you literally engage that in order to translate what you are doing into clinical practice, which is also the topic that he will be speaking to. If you look at his impressive record in the publication space, I'm absolutely envious of all his Nature papers. But that being said, the fact that I'm a friend of his does not help me. He's actually very excitingly has been part of a group that has launched new graduate programs really at the interface of artificial intelligence as well as drug discovery. And I think that is really a space that we are looking forward to watch exactly to see just the disruptive nature of what that is going to do for the field. Professor Verma is also a part of a number of advisory boards. He has at least 2 spin-off companies. He's also part of a startup. And so what we really see is his ability to take his active research and really translating that to what is happening in the commercial space, but also into clinical practice. And so I think it's really with that we are very privileged to have you here. Thank you very much for accepting this time to come and speak to us. And with that, I'm going to ask you just to put your hands together as we welcome Professor Verma.